Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 1 February 2024, Thursday night, 9 o'clock, time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel. And a knife sale we shall have. Before we get into the meat of it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also print them in the description underneath this video so you can peruse them at your leisure. Please be familiar with and agreeable to those before you start to purchase a knife. It's very, very important. Next, and also in the description under the video, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on this channel. The first one is entitled A Primer for Buyers. That is a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. So if you're a little foggy or if you have a wrinkled brow as you read the terms, watch that video. It explains how we do things and why every Thursday night. The second link is pertinent to you if you're interested in using this weekly sale to move along some of your collection. It's called FAQs for Consignors, and it explains how this process all works from the seller's perspective. And the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in that all-important video description, you'll see those 3 links at the top, then the terms of the sale in the middle section, and at the bottom you're going to see the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, the description in the middle, and pricing on the right. In the pricing column, you will generally see 2 numbers. The one on the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown in the sale video. The price on the right as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. And there will be next day sharpening for the first 4 items purchased to be sharpened during this sale. They will ship tomorrow, the 2nd, with all of the as shown inventory. If you fall outside that first 4, expect your sharpened knife to ship in 3 weeks, maybe a little less. If you see the word sold in lieu of pricing in that far right hand column, that means the item you're looking at has been bought and paid for by its new owner. No need to send an inquiry or an I'll take it about anything marked sold, all caps, exclamation point. I believe that's it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we just have 2 leftovers from last week, and we will get to those first. Screaming deals on both of them. The first from Hoback Knives. And we have the Hoback OSF, which is a knife that Jake released a few years ago. And OSF stood, I believe, for Open Source Folder. So this is a knife that he produced, and then he also offered the drawings for it to anyone who wanted them so they could use their own equipment and make it for free. But this is the Jake Hoback version, and you'll see it is etched with Psalm 23 and the Hoback name. What we got here is a ball bearing flipper in a tumbled DLC finish, kind of a sheep's foot blade, 3 5/8 inches long in S35 VN. The handle is 5 3/16, same finish treatment on the handle. The clip is going to be titanium, tip up ambidextrous. It's a titanium frame lock with a steel lock face insert and the Hoback rolling detent. So that screw head to the right is actually a tube with a ball bearing in it that is the detent, and it is allowed to roll for smoothness and adjustability. There's your lock engagement. It is rock solid. This is wearing a polished edge. I might have done this, or the consignor might have. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen this knife. But it is quite squared away. Lockup is rock solid. Action is silky smooth on the ball bearings. Blade centering is dead perfect. Condition on this will be near mint in box. They're discontinued and out of stock. They were $495 new. Sold listings on eBay are running between $450 and $525. We ran this one last week at $350 on Thursday, dropped it to $300 for the weekend. This week, somebody gets a buy, $275. No need to sharpen on the Hoback OSF. Next up, it's watch time. Kind of hard to believe this one didn't sell, but because it didn't, somebody's going to get a screaming deal. It's from Orient. You have an outer box and an inner box. And this is the correct box, but with the wrong sticker. The sticker is a reference number that goes to a Bambino, I think. Anyway, that's not what we have. What we have is the Orient RA-EL 0003B Neptune diver's watch. So this is an ISO certified diver, all stainless steel. Stamped clasp, but all solid links and end links. You're going to have a closed diver's style case back with the Orient maker's mark on the back. It is a pretty slick watch, I think. Sapphire crystal, 120 click unidirectional dive bezel. Kind of Seiko-esque. And it lines up. Power reserve indicator at 1 o'clock. Date at 4. Gilt hands and embossed markers and a gilt bezel. Let's see, how's it running? It's running about plus 15 seconds a day this week. I wound it yesterday. Polished top surfaces on the case. I'm sorry, brushed top surfaces, polished sides. 4 o'clock crown, screw down, of course. You do have the Seiko-esque dive extension in the front of the clasp. This is also going to come with a Seiko rubber strap. You can see it's a Seiko because of the wave. So do whichever you like. Dimensions on this are 42.5, 50 lug to lug, 13.5 thick, 22 millimeter lug width, sapphire glass matte black dial. So these are all over the place when you try to find new listings for them. Depending on the website and where they're shipping from, between $1,000 and $3,000. There's one current listing in eBay that's a buy it now at $675. And I'm going to call this very near mint in box. I don't think the bracelet has been on much, just some very minor desk rash on the clasp. We ran it at $495 last week, dropped it to $450 for the weekend. Let's do $395 on the Orient Neptune automatic dive watch. That's a heck of a buy, guys. A heck of a buy. Ooh, next up, we have an Emerson. No box with this one, but a very, very nice example of the mini CQC7. You can see the shimmer in the G10. Hasn't been carried much. The clip has just a little bit of wear from in and out of the pocket and a hand in and out beside it. Nice action. I'll tell you why in a minute. So it's got a 154 cm blade, black coated. 2 7/8 inches in length. The handle is 4 1/4. Titanium liner lock. And the action is so sweet and the lockup is so nice because this just came back from Emerson warranty service. It got a new lock side liner because it had some pretty bad slip almost to the point of failure, so they fixed it up. Just that little bit of titanium Emerson stick. Centering, hard to tell on that chisel ground blade, but it's perfect. Condition, I'm going to say is near mint. Just there's some coating missing right there, but that's it. So these are out of stock. When they were last available, they had a web retail of $175. Let's do $140 on this one. $170 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Emerson Mini CQC7. Next up, it is lantern time. Yeah, haven't done any of these, I don't think, on the channel. So this is from Princeton Tech. It is the Helix camp lantern. You might see it as the back country. Pretty cool little piece. Let's see, how's this? You swipe it. So it's got an expandable or collapsible dome. It's got legs that fold out for stability. And I don't know if you can hook them on stuff. I'm not sure how that works. Anyway, you swipe it to turn it on. And if you keep swiping, it goes to different intensities. Oh, I got a flasher. And then if you swipe left, you get red. In its fully extended position, 4 inches tall. It takes 3 AAA batteries. It's got a hanger. I'll call it near mint in box. You can buy these brand new, $40 web retail. Let's go 25 shipped priority mail on the Princeton Tech Helix camp lantern. Next up, we have another lantern. This one from Olight, and it's the Olantern Mini in red. So this is kind of an interesting piece. Kind of the same concept. It's an LED mini lantern. This is also 4 inches tall. This one has USB charging via a magnetic device at the bottom. And the base of this is kind of grippy rubber or silicone, as well as the top. It also has a hanger. And this one toggles between white and red light and off with one button. A little easier operation system, I think, than the Princeton. But this one doesn't squish down. Let's see, these are available on Amazon right now for $36. And this one is, I'll call it near mint to like new in box. It might have been used once or twice. $20 shipped priority mail on the Olight Olantern Mini. Next up, we have another light. This will be from Manker, and it is the MC13 light. It's going to come with an OSB charging cable and a lanyard in this bag. And this is pretty cool because the charging port in the 18350 battery is in the battery. So you do have to take the battery out to charge it, but the plug, the socket is in the battery. 3 5/8 overall length. Looks like maybe what, 1 3/4 at the bezel, and probably 1 inch in diameter in the barrel. You do have a pocket clip that is affixed, it looks like, by 1 screw. Tail clicky switch. Let's see, 3 5/8 in overall length. The barrel is black hard anodized aluminum. The emitter is a single W1 LED. 120 lumens to 950 in turbo. We'll call this one like new in box. These are running between 50 and 54. Web retail, brand new. Let's do this one at $30 shipped priority mail. The Manker MC13 light. Next up, we have a bit of a beast here. A bit of a beast. It's going to come in this nondescript box. It's from Convoy, and it is the L6 light. You're going to get in there, I don't know, some rubber goodies. And a ring. I'm not sure what you use that for, but all of its original stuff comes. You guys will probably want to research this one. Check it out. 10 inches in overall length. I think this is raw aluminum. I think. It's got a tail click switch actuation. The emitter is one Cree XHP 70.2. It has two 26650 batteries, up to 6,500 lumens of output, like new in the box. And I'm not sure how to toggle through the programmable modes on this light, but I'll tell you what, it throws some heat for an LED. Now these are available right now for 74 bucks on AliExpress, but that is with no batteries, okay? This one, of course, has the two batteries in it. And your price is going to be $50 shipped priority mail. And that is the Convoy L6 light. Next up, another one from Convoy, and this is going to come again in kind of a nondescript box. We'll call this the M21B SFT40 light from Convoy. Kind of a standard EDC flashlight. Black hard anodized aluminum barrel, crenulated bezel. Length is 5 5/8. Tail click switch actuation with a little lanyard there. Takes either a 21700 or an 18650 battery. It is super bright, and AliExpress, and that's where you find these, doesn't give it in lumens. They give it in some other unit, and I can't remember what they were. Anyway, it's like new in box. On AliExpress, you can buy this light for $31 with no battery. This one does have, I think, a 21700 in it, and it can be yours for $20 shipped priority mail. That's the Convoy M21B SFT40 light. Next up, we had one of these last week in a different material, but this is going to be a pen from CountyComm. Comes in this acrylic, maybe even glass tube. Maybe glass. Feels like glass. Screw-on cap. And here's the pen. It is the Embassy pen in brass from CountyComm. Solid brass barrel. 5 5/16 inches in length with the cap on, and it is a twist cap that does not stow. The clip is titanium. The refill inside is a Schmidt medium black. It is like new in the tube. I don't know what these things sold for, but I bet you it was better than, a lot more than what we're asking. 35 bucks shipped priority mail on the CountyComm Maratac Embassy pen in brass. Next up, we have a watch for you in a Civivi pouch. Extra links included. What is it? Well, it is a Rolex Explorer homage, we will say, from Cronos. So it looks a lot like a Rolex Explorer aesthetically. Even the case back is kind of Rolexy. Even the clasp is kind of Rolexy. It's got a flip lock and then just a friction clasp. So what do we got here? We have 38 millimeter case diameter, 48 lug to lug, 12.5 thick, sapphire glass, 20 millimeter lug width, screw down crown and case back, 100 meters of water resistance. And let's see, how's it running? It is running plus 10 seconds over the last 24 hours. And it's running the Seiko NH35 movement. You can buy this watch on AliExpress for 174 bucks. This one is very near mint. You might see some super fine hairlines on the side of the case and one little desk diving rub on the clasp. Your price $130 shipped priority mail on the Cronos automatic watch. Next up, we have one from Protech. Gee, nobody's going to want this. It's a 5203 Malibu flipper. DLC finish, 20 CV blade, reverse tanto. Here you go. Black aluminum handle, deep carry clip, right hand tip up, button lock, ball bearing flipper. That is 3 5/16 inches of 20 CV, 4 1/4 inches of handle. It's droppy shutty. I don't know if you can see the centering, but it is perfect. Great detent, superb flipping action. We will call this like new in the box. This particular version of the Malibu is out of stock right now. When it was last available, it was $225 web retail. For you guys, because we love you, let's do $200 like it is. $230 with an ApostleP edge. Protech 5203 Malibu flipper. Next up, we have another one from Protech. This is the R5205-blue. It is the Runt 5 with the textured blue handle and the stonewash 20 CV blade in a reverse tanto. Look at that little cutie. This is actually the save me from myself moment tonight. Love that milled checkering in the aluminum. Love the blue ano. Love the aesthetics and the finish of all the steel on the knife. Deep carry right hand clip. Even though it's right hand, I would probably carry this. And look at that little cutie. Yeah. I would call that more of a modified sheep's foot than a reverse tanto, but anyway. Blade length is 1 15/16. You go, California. Handle 3 3/16. It is a button lock automatic. It has rock solid lockup. It has dead centering. There you go. Action, Protech. Perfect. Like new in the box. These are out of stock at $150 web retail. How about $120 like it is? $145 sharpened on the Runt from Protech. Next up, we've got a Microtech. How about that, guys? Yeah. And the knife inside is going to be the 169-10 stitch automatic single edge. I think all of them are single edge. Stonewash standard. So it's kind of the OG stitch, right? Black hard anodized, nicely milled aluminum scales. Torx steel hardware, titanium gear pattern backspacer with lanyard slot, right hand tip up clip. And let's see, it is a button lock automatic. There's your stonewash blade, this one in M390. Your serial number is 6049. Your manufacture date is February of 21. That is 3 11/16 inches of M390 backed up by a handle of 4 15/16. You've got a beautiful forward trail. That knife is just great in the hand. Is there such a thing as an overbuilt utility automatic? I don't know. Let's see, how's the lockup? Microtech perfect. Centering is Microtech perfect. Action, you better be hanging on to it. It doesn't look super fast, but it comes out with authority. Let's see, these are out of stock, and we'll call this one like new in the box. It might have been in a pocket, but if it has, it hadn't been very much. Let's see. They're out of stock right now at $418 web retail. This one can be yours, though, for $350, shipped priority mail. $380 if you'd like it to come with an ApostleP edge, and next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 4. That's the stitch from Microtech. Next up, a little knife company that gets, I don't think, nearly enough respect. Bradley Cutlery. And they used to be made by Benchmade. Are they still? I don't know. But they are still made in the USA, at least this one was. And this is a Balisong from Bradley. It's the BCC 909 Kimura with stainless steel handle, scaled in layered black and orange G10. Great latch. Super silky phosphor bronze washer bearings for the pivots. The blade is a gorgeous bead blasted spear in 154 cm, 3 7/8 inches long. The handles are 5 inches. Just very, very nice. Let's see, how's the side play? It's pretty much all flex, no play. Very, very nice. We will say, and I think the centering's like dead perfect. It's hard to see down in there, but yeah, it is. There, you can see the tip there. We will call this one very near mint to like new in box. There's just a little bit of evidence of the latch moving. That's it. Let's see. These are available new between $97 and $110, depending on where you find them. Let's do $75 shipped priority mail on this one. $100 if you like it with an TheApostleP edge. That's the Kimura from Bradley Cutlery. Next up, we have a little run of classic and highly desirable buck knives. The first one is the Buck 112 Ranger #1 in your inventory. It comes in a nearly pristine leather sheath. And that's something because this knife is over 40 years old. Here is the 112 Ranger. And let's see, let's pull this thing out and show you the tang stamp first. So that is 1 dot to the left and 2 dots to the right of the model number 112, which means it was made in 1980 or 81 in 440C. 81 was the changeover year to 425M. And I believe the 425M knives had 2 dots on either side. So we know this is a 440C knife. 3-inch blade, 4 1/4 handle, lock back, solid brass constructions. The tail caps and bolsters are integral to the frame. Solid wood scales, not laminated. Lockup is, it's perfect, but there is just a little tiny bit of vertical play that you sort of have to muscle in there, just so you know. 0 side play. Nice free action. And would you look at that centering? Yeah, I'm seeing what you're seeing. We will call this near mint, no box. I believe it has been lovingly sharpened. And it's quite sharp. I'm going to give you a sharpened price, but I don't think it needs it, okay? Your price, $95, like it is, $120 with an TheApostleP edge, and that is a super fine example, guys, from the golden age of the buck lockback. That's the Buck 112 Ranger #1. Why #1? Because next we have #2. And you're going to notice this sheath has a little more wear than the #1 sheath. It's a little older knife. Let's see, let's pull the tang stamp. So let's see if I can get that to show up for you. 1 dot on either side of the 112 means it was produced from 1974 to 1980 in 440C. This knife has been sharpened a little more. You'll see the tip is a little bull-nosed. It has a blade length of about 2 15/16, the handle length 4 1/4, solid brass frame, solid wood panels, not laminated. Lockup on this one is dead rock solid. Blade nice and free. Centering is close on this one, but not quite as good as the #1. We will call this one excellent to near mint, no box. 1974 to 80 production. Let's do $85, like it is, 110 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Buck 112 Ranger number 2. Next up, more bucks, more old bucks. You will notice this sheath is a little longer because the knife is a little longer. This is Buck 110 Folding Hunter number 1, solid brass frame. A couple little dings in the brass on this knife if you look around. So right here and right here, solid wood scales. You'll see at the tang stamp 1 dot on either side of the 110. This was made between 1974 and 1980. It has been used and sharpened. A little boogered at the tip. 3 13/16 inches of blade. Rock solid lockup. Quite free in the blade action. Centering is close. We will call this excellent to near mint, no box. Marks in brass noted. It's 440C, made between 1974 and 1980. Your price $120, like it is $145 if I square away your edge. Next up, and the last of our buck revival, after I turn my page, is this knife. Now, if you want to get into a classic historical kind of first gen, not quite first gen because of the pin configuration, but a 440C age buck, this is a good one because it's not going to cost you a bunch of money. It's Buck 110 Folding Hunter number 2. 1 dot on either side of the 110. Model number indicates 1974 to 80 production. It's got a little black spotting in the 440C, not really a big deal. It's been used and sharpened at kind of an acute bevel. Blade measures 3 13/16 on this one. Handle 4 7/8. Solid wood scales, solid brass frame. No plywood in this knife. Rock solid vertical. Just a micro of side play in this one. I think the centering is like dead. It is. No sheath with this one, and the blade's been sharpened a little more than that first one you saw. And it's got a little bit of slight pitting. So here you go, guys. $80 like it is. $105 if you like it with my edge on it. That's the Buck 110 Folding Hunter number 2. Next up, I think it's time for a Swiss Army knife. This is one you don't see every day. It is the Victorinox Fieldmaster. 91mm frame. This one's sporting the factory Victorinox lanyard. So you've got the main spear. You've got the secondary pen. You've got scissors. You've got your small screwdriver can opener. You've got your large screwdriver cap lifter wire cutter. You've got tweezers. You've got a toothpick. You got a Phillips and a straight pen. I always love the straight pen. There you go. So yeah, it hides nicely. You've got a, I promise there's a parcel hook. My thumbnail can't get, there it is. And all with the sewing eye. Very, very little carry wear on the scales and 0 wear on any of the tools. These are currently available for $52 web retail, plus tax, of course. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail, $35, and then $65 if you'd like me to sharpen both blades. That is the Victorinox Fieldmaster. Next up, we have a Great Eastern Cutlery knife with no tube, but it is from the Northfield Unexcelled line. It is a number 29 Stockyard Whittler, model 291319. with blood red jigged bone covers. Bolsters are lined and pinched. Closed length is, I forget, what are they, about 3 3/4-ish? I didn't write it down. You got a main clip on a half stop. It has been sharpened and scratched. About a 7-pull, perfect walk and talk, sheep's foot secondary, and an all tertiary. This is a 3-spring whittler, not a split back or a catch bit, so that's going to give you a little more thickness than you'd have otherwise. Condition on this one, I will say, is excellent, no tube. Your price, not $250, not even $225, or even $199. This one can be yours, $175 like it is, $205. I sharpened the mane and the sheep's foot. The GEC Northfield number 29 Stockyard Whittler. Next up, I will be shocked, absolutely shocked, if this one makes it to 9 o'clock. Because I have an early bird who I think is going to want this knife. We'll find out. But here it is anyway. From Alber's Cutlery Company, made in USA, we have the very creatively named clip point knife in beefwood, Australian beefwood. Let me give this a quick wipe because it's beautiful. You ready? Oh my. Oh my. That is 3 7/16 inches of closed length, so about the same size as a GEC 15. Is that all steel? No, I don't know. That could be nickel. I think it's nickel silver. Anyway, gorgeous bolsters, beautiful bomb shield. That beefwood has some kind of chatoyance I'm not familiar with. This is gorgeous stuff. And then here's the blade. I'm going to call it a 7.5 pull, just a gorgeous clip point. Satin finish CPM 154. Beautiful walk and talk. Robust. Centering will be dead down the middle. Condition will be near mint to like new in box. I found one of these sold that was in some kind of a burl, so it's not the same wood, but a similar value wood. That knife sold on eBay at $4.99. This one can be yours. $350 like it is, $370. I sharpened that blade. The Alber's clip blade knife. Next up, a very cool utility knife slash multi-tool. I don't know, have I ever sold one of these before? I don't remember. But anyway, it's from Maniago Knife Makers, MKM, and it is the Malga 6. Look at that thing. Now, OD canvas micarta scales, a yellow-orange reflective lanyard. Length closed is 3 15/16. I got a main spear in M390 that's on a cam, about a 5.5 pull, but it's okay. Screwdriver cap lifter, can opener, a fork, a corkscrew, and there's the nail nick. They put the nail nick on the right side of the awl with sewing eye. I'm not sure I'm even going to call that. There's not really a sharp edge on that. But let's see, we'll call it near mint in box. These are $109 on Amazon, best price I could find. Let's do $85 like it is. $105 with my edge on that M390 blade. That's too cheap. Ah, what the heck, I said it. The MKM Malga 6. Next up, it's time for a fusion slip joint from Jack Wolf Knives. This is the Javelina Jack in fat carbon purple haze covers. It's going to come in a split grain Jack Wolf pocket slip. Here's the knife. It's got a little sort of sow belly thing going on. But one of the more original designs from Ben. Check out those fat carbon covers. So titanium frame, so liners and bolsters are integral. They are lined and bead blasted, kind of a dark wash finish. Steel back spring, of course. And we got kind of a muskrat clip in, what steel is it? Looks like S90V. Is that what you're seeing? That's what I'm seeing. Let's see, what will we call this pull? I'm going to say it's an 8. By the way, 3 and 13/16 is your close length. Walk and talk are great. Centering is perfect. Condition will be like new in box with the steel tube inside, of course. All the goodies are in there. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $275 web retail. Let's do $220 on this one. $250 if you'd like it with my edge. That's the Jack Wolf Javelina Jack. Next up, got a little run of Enrique Pena X Series knives. The first one comes with the flip top box only, no outer sleeve. You're going to get that slip. Inside is this knife. This is the Bronco Fusion slip joint. Titanium handle with carbon fiber inlays. Closed length is 4 1/32. The blade length is a clip point that opens with a nail nick and about a 9 pull. 3 1/8 inch. It is a half stop slip joint. Great walk and talk. Blade steel is S35VN. Gorgeous bidirectional satin. Centering is dead down the middle. Very slight carry wear. We'll call this near mint in box. Out of stock at $239 web retail. Let's do this one at $185 like it is. $210 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Pena X Series Bronco with carbon fiber inlays. Next, another one, whoops, from the Pena X Series. This is the swayback in titanium with brown micarta. It is burlap micarta. Little front flipper Barlow affair. Titanium liners with integral bolsters, titanium backspacer, milled titanium clip, right hand tip up. Let's see if I can front flip it. I did! Holy moly! Blade length on the swayback is 2 7/8 inches of M390. Nice bidirectional satin. Steel inserted bolster lock. Lockup is rock solid. The pivot is ball bearings. Gorgeous little warny swayback Barlow thingy. You can also nail nick it. Let's see, condition on this one. Excellent to near mint in box. There are fine scratches in the blade. Let's see if I can get them to show up. Out here in this area. And right above my thumbnail. There you go. So let's see, these are out of stock at $274 web retail. Let's do $225 on this one like it is. $250 with an ApostleP edge, the Pena X Series swayback. Next up, and the most special, I think, of the Penas in tonight's sale, the Pena Maker's Mark is on the inner box on this one. It is the Trapper Front Flipper Urban EDC exclusive with the titanium scales milled in the Segaiha motif. So this is a little titanium frame lock ball bearing front flipper, right hand tip up milled titanium clip, steel inserted lock interface. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is going to challenge my front flipping. Kind of a California clip or a muskrat clip, bidirectional satin. An M390, 2 13/16 blade, 3 5/8 handle. There is your lock engagement. It is rock solid. Ball bearing action smooth and free. Centering is perfect. Condition on this one, like new in the box. These are out of stock. I do not remember how much they were at Urban EDC. I do know this. There's one sold listing for this knife, just one. On eBay it did $323. This one can be yours, $295. Like it is, $325 if you like it with an ApostleP edge. It's the Pena X Series Trapper Front Flipper, Urban EDC exclusive. Next up is our last Pena tonight. Another one from the X Series. This one is the Pena Knives X Series Spear Point Slip Joint in black jigged G10. So a nice little lightweight fusion slip joint, black G10, super cool jigging, kind of a faux bolster treatment, orange liners, steel back spring, spear point blade on a half stop, like a full height hollow with a swedge. Blade steel is M390, 2 15/16 blade, 3 7/8 handle. Pull weight is a 7. Perfect walk and talk. Perfect centering. Comes with a slip, and it looks like the knife has never been in the slip. We'll call it like new in box. Out of stock at $164 web retail. Let's do $150 like it is. $175 sharpened on the spear point slip joint from Pena. What am I knocking over here? I have no idea. Oh, that's one. Okay, next up. We have one from Giant Mouse, no box, but we have a rather nice pouch. This is the Ace Grand, a very, very cool knife. OD canvas micarta scales. Titanium backspacer with lanyard loop hole. Ambidextrous deep carry tip up wire clip. Ball bearing pivot with an opening hole and a stainless steel liner lock. Kind of a harpoon clip blade in Elmax, 3 5/16 inches in length. The handle 4 9/16. Lockup is early and solid. Centering is perfect. Condition near mint to like new. No box. $225 web retail if you want to buy a new one. On this one, let's do $160 like it is. $190 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Giant Mouse Ace Grand. Next up, we got one from Terrain 365. Let's see, no sticker, but we have a knife. I know what it is. This is the Invictus in OD Green G10. And gorgeous glass beaded titanium. Big, milled, right hand tip up milled titanium clip. Thumb studs glow in the dark, by the way. Ball bearing pivot. Gorgeous spear point in Terravantium. 3.5 blade, 4 5/8 handle. There's your lock engagement. I don't see a steel insert. I don't have any stick. They must have done a carburized lock face. We do have some fine scratches in the blade. I'll get those to show up for you on that bead blasted finish. Lockup is rock solid. Ball bearing action is silky smooth and beautiful. Centering is down the middle. So condition, excellent to near mint because of the scratches. These are $368 web retail if you can find them. Let's do this one at $250 like it is, $280 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Terrain 365 Invictus, and it'll say ODG10 in your description. Next up, another one from Terrain 365. This is also an Invictus, but this is the all titanium version. So glass beaded titanium everywhere. Milled titanium right hand tip up clip. I love how the lanyard hole is in the clip. Very cool. Thumb stud actuation, and they're glow in the dark thumb studs. Ball bearing pivot. This one finished in satin, and it's also Terravantium. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. There's your lock engagement. No steel insert. No stick. No slip. Rock solid. There's your engagement. Droppy shutty. Perfect centering. 3.5 blade, 4 5/8 handle. Near mint, in box. These were $375 web retail. I couldn't find them in stock, I don't think. Your price on this one, $270 like it is $300 with an ApostleP edge. Next day sharpening is available. That's the Terrain 365 Invictus, all titanium. Next up, we have a Wee knife. We do. It is the 19072-2 Roxy 3 in black titanium handle. That is just a super smart looking package right there. Don't you think? Love the sort of bronze anode hardware. Contrasting milled titanium clip. Opening hole and ball bearings. DLC coated blade. S35VN. 3 1/8 inch blade. 4 1/16 handle. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. Engaged nicely. 0 blade plate. Got a polished edge on this one. There will be no need to sharpen. Action, centering, and lockup all perfect. Hard to see the centering. I don't have good lighting for that anymore. We'll call it near mint in box. These are available currently for a web retail of $229. This one can be yours $175. No need to sharpen. The Roxy 3 from Wee. Next up, we have a Kaiser. If you can read that label, it says it's the KI 3525A4 Yorkie. Nice little package. Black canvas micarta scales, all blackened steel. Milled titanium, right hand tip up pocket clip. Ball bearing flipper. Stainless steel liner lock. Blade steel M390. Nice little spear point. 2 9/16 inches long, 3 9/16 handle. The pinky will wrap the back of the knife. Let's see, there's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. A little bit of stick, must be a little oil on the lock face. This one's got a little coating wear in the end of the blade. These are available brand new for $119 web retail. Let's go 80 bucks on this one like it is, 105 with an ApostleP edge, and next day sharpening is available. That is the Kaiser Yorkie in M390. Next up. Ooh, We got a couple Olights, both limited edition Olights. The first is that one right there. It's the S1R Baton 2 limited edition in the Eternal Copper. Eternal Copper. So you can see this one's already started to develop a little bit of copper patina. 2.5 inches of overall length. The button is on top of the barrel. There is your low. So let's see, these run from half a lumen to 1,000 lumens on an RCR 123A battery. There is USB charging capability, magnetic at the tail of the light. This one has no charging cord. So they're discontinued, they're out of stock. We'll call this one near mint, just with the patina noted. Sold listings on eBay ranging between 110 and 200. This one, because there's no cord, we're going to offer at 90 bucks, shipped priority mail. That is the Olight S1R Baton 2 limited edition in Eternal Copper. Next up, we have a sibling. It looks like that. And this is the S1R Baton 2 in Autumn Titanium, which is interesting, I think. I'll show you why. We got to reach here. Okay. I thought it was brass, but it is not brass. This is titanium with a real gold PVD coating. So 2.5 inches of overall length. Clicky switch on top. So half a lumen to 1,000 lumens running an RCR 123 battery. And then this is the USB charging cable, which affixes thusly. Condition on this will be near mint in box. These are a limited edition that are out of stock. Sold listings on eBay ranging between 136 and 187. Let's do this at 120 like it is. No need to sharpen. That is the Olight S1R Baton 2 limited edition in Autumn Titanium. Pretty cool package, I'd say. Next up, time to get into some fixed blades. The first is from Lon Humphrey Custom Knives. The model is the Alpha in 52-100 steel with red and orange burl. I don't know what kind. I'm going to guess box elder. With yellow liners. Wait till you see this thing, because it is gorgeous. Look at that sheath. Split grain here on the reinforcement panel, black everywhere else. And here's the knife, the Alpha. So the blade is kind of like a long Kephart in the Brute de Forge style. So satin primary bevel, rough forged flats, polished spine, and all the way around. So good in the hand. 5.5 inches of 52-100. 5 inches of handle, and look at that wood. And the yellow liners work so well with it. Yeah. We'll call it near mint to like new in box. They are, of course, out of stock. Lon Humphrey knives never stay in stock very long. I found one sold listing on eBay for an Alpha in 52-100 in a much plainer, like plain tannish micarta handle, I think. So this would have sold for a lot more money. But let's do, that knife did $350, by the way, if I didn't mention it, on eBay. Let's do $325 on this one, $360 if you'd like me to sharpen it. And next day sharpening is available. The Lon Humphrey Alpha. Next up, Oh, this is going to be hard not to have a disaster. I have a house of cards over here, boys. Got one from LT Wright. It is a Genesis Scandian A2 in natural canvas with orange liners, matte finish on the handle. Wait till you see this. Now this is a special edition run for Log Ox, American Tools for Woodsmen. Look at the satin flats and the polished Scandi bevel. The trademark LT Wright brass and steel screw set, beautifully hafted handle, gorgeous orange liners, 90-degree spine, suitable for a fire steel. And look what they did on the Log Ox Special Edition. Yes, a matching steel. I will not strike it here. No sheath with this knife, but you rarely get one with an LT knife. You got 4.5-inch blade, 4 7/8 handle. Like new inbox, unobtainium. Can't find them in stock, can't find them available used. Your price, $225 like it is, $250 if you want me to sharpen it, but I'd probably leave that alone. Just saying. That's the LT Wright Genesis Scandi. Next up, we got a pair of twins. They are work tough knives. They are Puzon Wilderness Bowie 9s. Okay, and they both have my edge on them. They will be listed separately as number 1 and number 2. They both come in the box. I'm going to show them to you both at the same time. Why? This consignor had big ideas. Notice the tech locks mounted on opposite sides. Is he going to dual wield these things? Now they call them Puzon Wilderness Bowie 9s, but they're not really a 9-inch blade. They're actually a 10 1/4-inch blade in SK85 steel, a gorgeous Bowie with a convex ApostleP edge, black G10 handle, removable. Yeah, you can come forward for fine work with your 10-inch Bowie. Yeah, there you go. So, and there's goodies in the box. There's tech locks, there's lanyards, there's, I don't know, stuff. These are out of stock. When they were available, they had a web retail price of $260, and then my consignor paid me $35 each to sharpen them, so he had $295 a piece in them. We're offering them at $220 each, shipped priority mail. No need to sharpen. The Work Tough Gear Puzon 9 Wilderness Bowie, number 1 and number 2. How about that? How about that? I got stuff to put away over here. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. That brings us to the last item in tonight's sale. Another one from Work Tough Gear. And this is a PWB, Puzon Wilderness Bowie 7 Gen 2 in black G10 and SK85. So this is the little sister to those two knives we just saw. Here we go. Another Kydex sheath. Beautiful thumb brake, by the way. Tech lock. Look at that. Huh? How about that? Yes. Yes. That is 7.5 inches of SK85, beautifully bidirectionally satin finished, with a glinty, sharp ApostleP edge and a black G10 handle. 7.5 blade, 5 1/4 handle. 3D machine black G10 scales. A lashing hole. What are you gonna do with that lash to a stick? I don't know. So these are out of stock. When they were available, they were $250 web retail. My seller paid me $35 for that edge. So what's that? $285 for that package, brand new. Never used after I sharpened it. Let's do $200 shipped priority mail on the Work Tough Gear Puzon 7 Wilderness Bowie Gen 2 with an Apostle P edge. And that, my friends, will bring us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Go get you some deals. Talk to you soon.